Welcome back to the channel, Rarest Coins fellow collectors and curious minds. Today we're diving deep into one of the most talked about modern coins in American history, the 1982 Washington quarter. You might have seen headlines or videos claiming that the single 1982 quarter sold for over $1.4 million. But what's the truth behind this story? Is it hype? Is it real? Or is there more to the coin than meets the eye? Let's uncover the real history, rarity, and potential value of this mysterious quarter. First, we need to understand what makes the 1982 quarter stand out. At face value, it seems like just another coin from your change jar. It was struck in Denver, as indicated by the small demon mark under the date, and part of the regular Washington quarter series that began in 1932. But 1982 was no ordinary year for the U.S. Mint. During the early 1980s, the country was in a recession. Inflation was high, and the mint made the decision to cut costs wherever it could. One of those cost-saving measures was to stop producing uncirculated mint sets in 1982 and 1983. That meant no pristine government-issued coin sets for collectors that year, which had been the norm for decades. So, coins like the 1982 quarter only entered circulation, meaning they were struck for general public use and not preserved in high quality for collectors. As a result, finding a 1982 Washington quarter in mint state condition today is incredibly difficult. Most of them were spent, worn down, and used in daily transactions. But here's where things get interesting. Some rare 1982 quarters have surfaced over the years in exceptional condition. We're talking about coins that somehow managed to survive untouched, with no wear, strong luster, and full strike. Even more exciting, a few of these coins have been found with the rare error, what numismatists call a no mint mark, or sometimes a striking error related to die deterioration or wrong plan case. But let's clarify something right away. The talk of a $1.4 million 1982 quarter, that is not entirely accurate. No verified auction or sale has officially confirmed the price that high for this coin. However, there is a grain of truth to the hype. In the world of numismatics, extreme values can sometimes be attached to ultra-rare coins in private sales or speculative media, especially when error coins or one-of-a-kind examples enter the spotlight. So what is the actual market value of a 1982 Washington quarter? Well, a standard circulated 1982 quarter is worth only face value 25 cents. However, a coin in high mint state condition, such as MS-66 or higher, can bring in anywhere from $50 to several $100. According to recent auctions, an MS-67 1982 quarter can sell for around $300 to $600 depending on eye appeal and grading service. The key is finding one in exceptional condition, which is extremely rare due to the lack of mint sets. Now here's the kicker. There's an especially rare variety known as the 1982 quarter struck on a plankett intended for a different denomination, like a copper penny plankett or even a transitional error with a different composition. These major mint errors can push the value of the coin into the thousands, and in extremely unique cases, tens of thousands of dollars. But again, these are very rare and need to be authenticated by a third-party grading service like PCGS or NGC. So what should you be looking for? If you're hunting for a valuable 1982 quarter, look for the following. 1. A coin in uncirculated condition, ideally with full luster and no signs of wear. 2. Strong details and no contact marks or scratches. 3. Any unusual coloration, weight, or a design flaw that might indicate a mint error. 4. Consider having the coin graded by reputable service to verify its authenticity and condition. Here's a helpful tip. Use a jeweler's loupe or microscope to examine the details closely. Some collectors have found rare double dies or off-center strikes on 1982 quarters that add significant value. Now let's talk about the myths and rumors. Many articles and viral posts have exaggerated or misreported the $1.4 million claim. In reality, no certified 1982 quarter has been documented to sell for that price at a public auction. It's possible that a one-of-a-kind error coin may have been offered at an estimated value in a private transaction, but these cases are rare and unconfirmed. So while it's fun to imagine a pocket change coin turning into a fortune, it's always best to stay grounded and focus on the facts. That said, the 1982D Washington quarter remains a highly collectible and historically important coin. Its value continues to rise for high-grade examples, and it serves as a perfect symbol of how small changes in mint policy like halting uncirculated sets can have long-term consequences for collectors. So should you go through your change jar and check your old coins? Absolutely. You never know what treasure might be hiding in plain sight. And if you do happen to find a pristine 1982D quarter or a strange-looking error, don't rush to sell it. Get it evaluated by a professional. It just might be worth more than you think. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into rare coins, coin history, and numismatic mysteries. Leave a comment below if you've ever found a 1982D quarter or any unusual coin in your collection. Until next time, happy hunting and keep checking your change. Would you like me to help you turn this into a full video with voiceover, visuals, or a thumbnail concept? Welcome back to the channel where we talk all things coins, from historic pieces to modern-day pocket change that could be worth a fortune. Rarest coins. Today's episode takes a close look at the 1980p Washington quarter. That's right, the Philadelphia minted quarter from 1980, and there's a buzz going around that one of these coins could be worth as much as $1.5 million. Is it true? Could you be holding $1 million coin without even knowing it? Let's dive into the story, the facts, and what makes certain 1980p quarters truly valuable. To start with, let's talk about what the 1980p quarter actually is. The Washington quarter has been a staple of American currency since 1932. Designed to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington, it has become one of the most iconic coins in circulation. In 1980, the quarter still featured the traditional design: Washington's profile on the front, the eagle on the back. But this was also the first year the Philadelphia Mint began using the P mint mark on quarters. So if you see a small P just to the right of Washington's ponytail, that tells you it was minted in Philadelphia. Now, here's where it gets interesting. The Philadelphia Mint produced over 635 million quarters in 1980. That means this coin, on the surface, is not rare. You've probably held dozens of 1980p quarters without giving them a second thought. But just like with many coins, the value is not just about the date or the mint mark. It's about the condition, the scarcity of certain high-grade examples, and the presence of any unusual errors. Let's start with condition. A circulated 1980p quarter, the kind you'll find in your pocket or a coin jar, is usually worth only face value. It's been used, worn, scratched, and lost most of its original luster. But a 1980p quarter in mint state condition, meaning no signs of wear, strong details, and a bright finish, is a different story. Collectors pay serious attention to coins graded MS66, MS67, and higher. According to recent auction data, a 1980p quarter graded MS67 by PCGS can fetch around $100 to $400. Go one grade higher to MS68, and now you're looking at a coin that's both rare and highly desirable, potentially selling for over $1,000, depending on the demand and the sharpness of the strike. Still, we're a long way from that $1.5 million mark. So where does that figure come from? That's when we start talking about rare mint errors and the dream scenario of discovery coins. In coin collecting, a mint error can turn an ordinary coin into an extraordinary one. And in the case of the 1980p quarter, there are a few key errors that could bring in big money. Double strikes, off-center strikes, clipped plan case, and broad strikes are known error types from this year. Some collectors have found 1980 quarters struck on plan case meant for pennies or foreign coins, coins that weren't supposed to be used at all. If a 1980p quarter was accidentally struck on a copper penny plan kit, for example, and the error is dramatic and visible, that coin could be worth thousands and even tens of thousands of dollars. But let's go even further. The biggest coin values in history often come from what are called discovery coins, a one-of-a-kind errors that were never supposed to happen, and in many cases, were never seen before. If someone were to find a 1980p quarter with a never-before-documented major error, and that coin was authenticated by PCGS or NGC, and sold at a high-profile auction, it could fetch an extraordinary amount. That's where you start seeing million-dollar price tags attached. While no 1980p quarter has yet sold for $1.5 million in a public auction, the potential is not impossible if a coin with that kind of rarity and uniqueness is discovered. So now the question is, what should you look for? Start by checking the date A 1988 and the mint mark A small p to the right of the ponytail. Next, examine the coin's condition. Does it look uncirculated? Is it free of wear, nicks, and scratches? Does it have a sharp strike and original luster? If yes, it might be worth grading. Use a jeweler's loupe or a microscope to carefully inspect the details. Look for doubling on the letters, especially in Liberty, In God We Trust, or the date itself. Pay attention to the edges and rims. Are they even, or does something look off? Weigh the coin if possible. A normal 1980p quarter should weigh around 5.67 grams. If yours weighs significantly more or less, it could indicate a wrong plankett or composition error. If you believe you've found something special, don't rush to sell it online or at a pawn shop. The best step is to send the coin to a professional grading service. PCGS and NGC are the most trusted in the business. They can confirm whether your coin is an error, what grade it earns, and give you an official certification that collectors and dealers trust. Now let's come back to the million-dollar question. Could your 1980p quarter really be worth $1.5 million? The honest answer is probably not, but it's not impossible. As of now, there's no record of a 1980p quarter selling for that amount. But in the coin world, things change fast. One discovery, one unique error, one ultra-high-grade example that's the best of its kind, that's all it takes to rewrite the value. So yes, there's always a possibility, however small, that a 1980p quarter could reach that kind of legendary price under the right conditions. In the meantime, it's still a coin worth looking at, especially if you love the thrill of the hunt, the history of American coinage, and the idea that something sitting in your drawer might be worth far more than you imagined. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1980p Washington quarter, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss future episodes. And tell us in the comments, have you ever found a strange or flawless quarter from the 1980s? Do you think there's $1 million coin out there waiting to be discovered? Until next time, keep searching, keep learning, and keep checking your change. Would you like help creating a video title, thumbnail idea, or short description to match this script? Welcome back to the channel, where we explore rare coins, hidden treasures, and the true stories behind the money in your pocket. Today we're talking about the 1990D Washington quarter, a coin that's been making headlines, popping up in viral videos, and even being called a $1 million coin. That's right, some sources claim that a 1990D quarter could be worth as much as $1.2 million. Sounds unbelievable, right? Well, let's separate fact from fiction and uncover what's really going on with this modern coin. To start, let's go back to the basics. The 1990D Washington quarter was minted in Denver, as marked by the small D mint mark just below the year on the front of the coin. It's part of the standard Washington quarter series, which began in 1932 and features George Washington's profile on the obverse and the classic eagle on the reverse. Now here's the thing, over 927 million of these quarters were minted in 1990 at the Denver Mint. That's right, nearly a billion coins. So by no means is the 1990D quarter rare in general circulation. Most of these coins are still out there, being spent, lost, tossed in drawers, or sitting unnoticed in old coin jars. The vast majority of them are only worth face value at just 25 cents. So where does the $1 million figure come from? Let's take a deeper look. What drives the value of any coin is a combination of rarity, condition, and error. And in the case of the 1990D Washington quarter, while the regular strikes aren't rare, there are a few exceptional examples that have caught the attention of collectors and dealers, especially those in pristine condition or with unique minting errors. First, let's talk about condition. When we talk about high-value coins, we're talking about coins that have been graded in the mint state range A. That means no wear, full luster, and sharp details. A 1990D quarter in MS67 or MS68 condition is incredibly rare because most of these coins were made for circulation, not preserved in uncirculated sets. Finding one in nearly perfect shape is like finding a needle in a haystack. Now for some context, according to auction records, a 1990D Washington quarter graded MS67 by a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC can sell for anywhere between $200 to $500. That's already an impressive jump from face value. If you have an MS68, which is extremely hard to come by, the value could push into the thousands. But even those prices are nowhere near $1 million. So what's up with the $1.2 million claim? Well, like with many viral coin stories, the number often comes from speculation or is based on a theoretical value. If a unique error or one-of-a-kind condition coin were to surface, there's no verified public auction or grading report showing a 1990D quarter selling for $1.2 million. However, there are rumors and private sales that circulate within the collecting community, often fueled by mysterious listings, social media posts, or misunderstood coin values. But don't lose hope. Here's where things get interesting. The real value in 1990D quarters lies in rare mint errors. We're talking about double strikes, off-center strikes, wrong plan case, or even transitional metal errors. If a 1990D quarter was accidentally struck on a different plancate like a penny or a nickel blank, that kind of mint error can drastically increase its value. One verified example of a major error could easily sell for tens of thousands of dollars, depending on its condition and how dramatic the mistake is. There's also the possibility of discovery coins, coins with new or previously undocumented errors. If you were to find a unique 1990D quarter with a significant and verifiable minting flaw, and it was certified by a grading service, it could break records, and in that rare case, it could hypothetically be worth 6 or even 7 figures. So what should you be looking for? Start by checking the date and mint mark you want a 1990D. Then, look for coins with no wear, strong details, and full mint luster. Use a magnifier or microscope to spot any errors in the lettering, design, or edges. Look for things like doubling, off-center strikes, or coins that seem thinner or thicker than normal. Weigh the coin if possible. The standard weight for a clad quarter should be around 5.67 grams. If it's off, it could be a wrong plancate. And remember, condition is everything. Even a regular 1990D quarter can be worth a decent amount if it's in perfect mint state condition. Send your best finds to a reputable grading company like PCGS or NGC. That's the only way to unlock the full potential value. Now let's address the final question. Is their 1990D quarter really worth $1.2 million? At this point in time, no such sale has been officially confirmed. But in the world of rare coins, new discoveries happen all the time. A coin is ultimately worth what someone is willing to pay for it. And if the right error coin comes along, in the right condition, and at the right time, who knows, maybe one day, a 1990D Washington quarter will make history. So keep checking your change, search through old jars, and don't ignore those common coins. Sometimes, the most valuable treasure is hiding in plain sight. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Let us know in the comments if you've ever found a 1990D quarter or any interesting coin in your pocket change. Until next time. Keep hunting and happy collecting. Would you like help creating a matching video description, title, or thumbnail idea for this script? Welcome back to the channel where we uncover hidden treasures in your pocket change and explore the fascinating world of coins. Rarest coins. Today, we're going to dive into the mystery and value behind a coin you might have in your own home at the 1997 Washington quarter. Lately, there have been some jaw-dropping claims that this coin could be worth as much as $1.1 million. Sounds unbelievable, right? So let's explore what's true, what's myth, and how much a 1997 quarter might actually be worth if you find the right one. Let's start with a little background. The Washington quarter has been a fixture of American currency since 1932. The design, featuring the profile of George Washington on the front and the heraldic eagle on the back, remained virtually unchanged for decades. In 1997, the mint was just 1 year away from launching the 50-state quarters program, which would go on to become one of the most popular coin series in U.S. history. So the 1997 quarter represents the final full year of the classic eagle-back design before it was replaced. The D on the coin refers to the Denver Mint, which produced over 599 million Washington quarters that year. So in general terms, the 1997 quarter is not a rare coin. In fact, it's one of the more common quarters from the 1990s. Most of these coins entered circulation and have been used in daily transactions ever since. That means most examples are worn, scratched, and only worth their face value 25 cents. So where does this $1 million story come from? Well, this is where things get interesting. Every so often, the internet buzzes with stories about common coins selling for enormous amounts of money. Some claim that a single 1997 quarter sold for over $1 million at a private sale. But let's be clear, there has never been a verified public auction or documented sale of a 1997 quarter reaching that kind of price. Not through any of the major grading companies. Not through any major auction houses. At least, not yet. However, that doesn't mean this coin can't be worth serious money under the right circumstances. Let's talk about what actually gives a 1997 quarter value above face value. There are three key factors to consider: condition, rarity, and errors. First, condition. A 1997 quarter in perfect, uncirculated mint state condition can be worth significantly more than face value. When a coin is graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC and earns a grade of MS67 or higher, it becomes part of a very small group. Coins in that grade are extremely hard to find because most 1997 quarters have been circulated and show signs of wear. An MS67 example could sell for around $50 to $150. MS68 quarters are even rarer and could push into the high hundreds or even low thousands if the coin has exceptional eye appeal. But still, we're not in $1 million territory yet. So how could a 1997 quarter ever be worth $1.1 million? That's where mint errors come into play. Rare mint errors are like gold in the coin world. They can take an ordinary coin and make it extraordinary. Known error types include double strikes, off-center strikes, clipped plan case, and coins struck on the wrong plan kit altogether. If a 1997 quarter was struck on a nickel or penny blank by mistake, or if it shows an extremely dramatic error that's one of a kind, that could drastically raise its value. Some of these coins can fetch thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars, depending on the error and the coin's condition. And then there are discovery coins, a one-of-a-kind pieces that reveal a previously unknown minting mistake or variety. These are the kinds of coins that make headlines. If a brand new and significant error were discovered on a 1997 quarter, it could become incredibly valuable and might even reach a sky-high price in a high-profile auction. That's where the $1 million speculation comes in. It's not impossible, but it hasn't happened yet. Still, collectors are always watching for that once-in-a-lifetime coin to surface. So what should you do if you have a 1997 Washington quarter? First, Take a close look. Is it clean and uncirculated? Does it have a mirror-like finish or razor-sharp details? If so, it might be worth getting graded. Use a magnifying glass or coin microscope to inspect it for any errors. Look at the edges, the lettering, the date, and the mint mark. Is there anything unusual? Any doubling, missing elements, or strange shapes? If you spot something odd, it could be worth a lot more than you think. If you find a coin you believe is special, the next step is to have it professionally graded. PCGS and NGC are the two most respected grading services in the world. They can confirm whether your coin is an error, what condition it's in, and what it might be worth in the collector market. And just because a coin hasn't sold for $1 million yet doesn't mean it never will. The coin world is full of surprises. New discoveries are made all the time, and values can change quickly depending on market demand, collector interest, and the uniqueness of the coin itself. So while most 1,997D quarters are worth only 25 cents, the rarest and most exceptional examples can be worth hundreds, thousands, or maybe that magical $1.1 million, if the right coin comes along and the right buyer is ready. Thanks for watching and joining us on this coin collecting journey. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1997D Washington quarter, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss a rare coin story. Let us know in the comments if you've ever found a strange quarter or have a 1997D in your collection. Until next time, keep checking your change, and happy hunting. Would you like a matching title, video description, or visual concept for this video next?